All right, so today we're going to dig into a pretty big announcement. A company just laid out this huge vision for where they're headed. And honestly, it all kicks off with a really bold statement.
Uplifting humanity. I mean, wow, you just don't hear that kind of language coming out of a company, right? It's huge, it's ambitious, and it makes you stop and think, okay, what does that actually mean?
Okay, so let's get into it. How on earth do you take a massive idea like uplifting humanity and, make it something tangible, something real? Well, it turns out their whole vision is built on three key pillars.
So here they are. The foundation for this whole mission comes down to these three things: education, personal development, and financial well-being. The thinking here seems to be that if you can bring these three things together, you can spark some real, meaningful growth for pretty much anyone, no matter where they're coming from.
And here's the kicker, the really crucial part. This isn't just about selling services. The end game is right here in this quote, to make meaningful transformation accessible to all. So what they're really talking about is tearing down walls, making the tools for growth available to everyone.
But, what's stopping this from happening already? Well, according to them, there's one huge hurdle in the way, and they've given it a name: the complexity barrier.
And this really gets to the heart of their whole philosophy. They've boiled it down to this: the problem is complexity. The goal is simplicity. That's their core promise, to take all the complicated stuff that trips people up and just make it simple, make it manageable. So the big question is, how do you actually do that? How do you get from complex to simple? Their whole plan revolves around this idea they're calling technology with a heart. And their strategy is pretty straightforward. It's a three-step deal. Step one, the tech has to be affordable. Can't help people if they can't afford it, right? Step two, it's gotta be user-friendly, easy to use. And step three, they're gonna integrate that AI with a heart. So it really looks like they're trying to lower every single barrier to entry: cost, usability, and even emotional support.
Let's just hang on that phrase for a second. AI with a heart. That's not an accident. They're clearly trying to stay away from all the technical jargon. It makes you think they're aiming for an AI that's less about just crunching numbers and more about being supportive, maybe even intuitive. Now, what that actually looks like? Is it a friendlier interface or something more proactive? We'll have to wait and see.
Okay, so you've got this huge vision, you've got this heartfelt tech, but who is it all for? And this is where the whole thing gets really grounded, really specific. It's all about empowering small businesses. And they're not being vague about it either. They're talking about the everyday entrepreneur, the person working from their kitchen table as an affiliate, the local shop owner on your main street, basically any and every kind of small business owner. The goal of these new apps is to help them find and connect with more customers. But the vision here is bigger than just one business owner. They really believe that if you empower these entrepreneurs, it'll create a ripple effect. That's the quote, right? To create benefits for entire communities in ways never before seen. So the idea is that one person's success can actually lift up their entire community. Okay, so we've got the vision, we've got the strategy, we know who it's for, but the big question is, when is any of this actually happening? Well, all of this is pointing to one specific, really important event. And they're making it super clear that this is not just some small update. They're using words like a new direction. That signals a huge shift, a major change in how they do things. Basically, they're setting the stage for a really big reveal. The timeline they laid out is pretty simple. Right now, we're in what they're calling the shared vision phase, but the date to circle on your calendar is in September. That's when they're doing a live global update to spill all the details about this new direction. The actual new apps, those will come sometime after that. So yeah, September is the magic month. All eyes are going to be on what happens then. They're telling everyone to stay tuned for the exact date and time of that live announcement. And that leaves us right back where we started, with this one massive question hanging over everything. The vision is incredible, for sure, but will this new direction really create benefits in ways never before seen? I guess we're all going to have to wait until September to get the answer to that.